Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe.
How are you?
I'm very, very well. I've been adventuring all week.
You really have. It has definitely been an adventure.
So many adventures.
Yeah, you were back and forth to New York City a lot.
Over and over, like 4 days in a row.
That makes my life kind of boring here alone. It's just me and the dogs.
Babe.
There's a visitor we have out here in the forest.
I think he's more than a visitor. I think he's a new resident. He could have a den.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
He's got like a big screen TV and a
den,
recliner.
a man cave.
Yeah. Or a fox cave.
I'm glad that we're just not automatically assuming it's a woman fox.
That's true. Yeah,
but
that's true.
It's a fox.
It's a fox.
He's living around here because we've seen him at the tree. And also the other night we were riding.
Yes.
And we started to hear something. I thought it was Dixie, our dog, Dixie, because she kind of sounds like she has sleep apnea.
I thought it was a 19th century prostitute being murdered. What does the fox say?
John was sitting there and he was like, "Don't you hear that screaming, that yelling outside?" And I'm like, "Wait, hold on. I thought it was Dixie snoring." And I was listening. I go, "Jesus, what is that?" You think, I think that's a fox.
Yeah, well,
and you were like, "What?"
That's not what happened. What happened was we were like, I wonder if it's the fox. Then you looked up the sound.
That's not what happened.
You know what?
You know what
this is? This is one of those situations where we both are remembering things differently.
Speaking of remembering something differently.
Oh, whoa. Here we go. What a transition that was.
This is a really good lesson. And I don't know if you knew this was possible before this particular experience. That you could believe a thing that wasn't true.
With John, all things are possible.
Okay. I would stress to everyone listening, all the things that you believe are true, or you wouldn't believe them. But what happens when they're not true?
They're true to you.
They're true because maybe you've told yourself a story about it over and over. You've used something as an excuse. You've confirmed a way that you want to be because of a thing. But you have to test the truth.
So one of our movies had an ending that was controversial in terms of we had cut out pretty much the whole original idea. And I insisted on that. And I always kind of went, this film, I think it would have been better if we would have done, you utilized the original ending. And Tracy was like, what are you talking about? The original ending is there. And I'm like, no, it's not. We got rid of it. And I died on that hill. Okay? Hamburger Hill, Pork Chop Hill, Ground Round Hill. I died
Salisbury Steak Hill.
Salisbury Steak Hill. That's a Peter Gabriel.
Right.
That's right. That's a different hill.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? The ending that we wrote is the ending on the film.
Yes. And I insisted it wasn't.
Even though we had gone through some other incarnations,
right.
The one that was out in the world was the correct one.
And I insisted so hard.
I just said, I'm going to get the hard drive out.
She went and got the hard drive out.
I mean, I don't think it got too personal. Like, well, you're an idiot if you think that. You did say that one of us has dementia.
I'll get a divorce if this is the ending.
You did say, if this is true, then I probably have dementia.
That's right. That was my point. It was like, I have lost my ever-loving mind if that ending is on the version that people see. And it was. There was an additional part that had been added. But now that I look back on it, we had compromised. Where we took kind of what we wanted and we took what they wanted and kind of put it all together in an ending baklava.
Yeah, there was a coda. I'll call it a coda.
Right.
Which is perfectly fine. The ending we wrote was the ending. But what immediately happened was you didn't think you had dementia. I think you just came to realize, oh, wow, I told myself this story.
Yes.
And I believed it so much.
So much. Yes.
That it was shaping your reality.
Back to New York, we tried the bus.
Well, not really.
What do you mean, not really?
Not really.
Oh, that's true. That was not the intention.
We were going to try the train. When I clicked through Google Maps at like get your tickets,
right?
I thought, I mean, I was looking for trains on Google Maps. I was looking for that. And it pulled me up at Coach USA. I'm like, well, this is just some website selling tickets, right?
Right.
It didn't occur to me to like go to Amtrak or go to like, you know, the New Jersey Transit. This did not happen.
Right.
And I'm a person who has a lot of anxiety around clicking wrong things in the process of a purchase.
Right.
I'm not made for this modern world.
Okay.
I like the old exchange of paper money. I like hand in hand where I can look in your eyes and you can affirm that I'm buying this thing.
It has that feeling of once those little ones and zeros that used to be in my bank account go out into the ether, I will never see them again if I fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't believe that. Most companies,
almost all companies have a way of like, okay, you messed up. Here, you can get your money back. No big deal.
Yeah. It doesn't help my psyche to know that.
I'm standing next to a guy. So I show him and I'm just like, yeah, so, you know, this is the train that goes into New York. And he goes, yes. He looks down at my phone and he goes, I think that's a bus. And I go back to the car and I go, this guy says that this might be a bus.
And then immediately in my mind, coach and bus connect.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh,
and then we look at the picture and we are like, that has wheels.
I'm expecting like a legit station. No, it's just a regular old bus stop.
What, like a where Marilyn Monroe is waiting around, you know, the entire film kind of bus stop is what you were hoping for?
When I get on a bus to go to a destination, it's usually from a little station somewhere, or like the Chinatown bus. It's from like a Chinese noodle shop. I don't understand how this works. I don't understand how buses work on time. I don't understand how people find where to go for buses.
Well,
both times while you were waiting for the bus, and they were both a little late, but you always got where you were going on time.
Right.
My anxiety normally would have been through the roof.
Yeah.
It would have been bad.
Right.
But on my medicine, I was just like,
thank you, pharmaceuticals.
I'm like, I don't even know how to genuflect, but I'm like, thank you.
Well, yeah.
Thank you.
It has to end with a putting it in your mouth.
Father, son.
That's right. Yes.
I don't know. I'm not disrespecting the process because I really wish I knew how to genuflect. Sometimes I think it's probably the most appropriate gesture for an occurrence.
I was supposed to be an extra in a Netflix series that has Jude Law and
Jason Bateman
in it. They treated us great. There were about 100 people that were in what's known as holding in the business.
Well, when I saw like the PDF that they sent you, I was just like, God, I can't imagine running this kind of logistics.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. You walked over, you showed them, you know, what you had in your bag, you know, and they picked it out.
And they complimented you.
They did. She said, oh, you brought some really good stuff. And basically, they just had me button the shirt I was already wearing and put on a hat that I brought. That was it. I was already in costume, folks.
You could be a cab driver in New York City.
I was.
At all times.
I thought I was going to be a cab driver. I was not a cab driver. I was a cab sitter.
You were a cab sitter.
I was a cab sitter. I was sitting a cab.
You were like sitting 8 cabs back.
Right, exactly. So the Javits Center is supposed to play like it's
an airport.
JFK, and you are, you know, coming out and picking people up at the airport.
I mean, it's just cool to go and see the production.
I did see Jude Law, and he oozed sex.
Yeah.
He just did. He was there and he had his sunglasses on, and literally he was posed like, you know, it was Italian Vogue. He was like, he had his leather jacket and he was laughing and smiling and people around him were like, absorbing his aura that he was putting out. And it was just like, okay, movie star. There's a movie star. Everything about that guy says movie star.
When you're around people who are like known, recognizable or famous, they do have a vibe.
Right.
And you're just like, wow, I vibrate at a much lower vibe than this person.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. No, and you see it sometimes when you end up vibrating at a higher vibe. And
to the people who are lower vibes to you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There were lower vibe to you.
And people do kind of want to plug into you.
Well, it's weird. Last night I was at this networking event. So I met a guy and he owns a comic company, like comics.
Oh, wow.
And man, did we just click. And he loved what I was wearing.
You were especially dapper last night. You came out, though, in all of your jewelry and your outfit.
My outfit, yeah.
And a top hat.
The outfit kind of draws people to you.
Sure, it does.
That's kind of the point of it.
Yes.
I go out there and I peacock a bit so that people are like, oh, they have something that they can walk up to me. And first thing they say, man, I love your look. Man, what are you?
Even if they're weirded out.
Are you in the entertainment business? You took a picture of me and I looked at it and I went, oh yeah, I didn't need the top hat.
No, it was plenty. It was plenty.
What did I say? I said, like Chanel, I will take something off. So the second day, of course, this is what our podcast is. I go from day 1 to day 3, and now I'm back to day 2. I am going to a meeting with somebody that I met on a lunch club.
You're there, and it's telling you it's like a mile.
No, 2 miles.
2 miles.
It's 2 miles away.
And I'm like, wait, hold on, that's not right. Are you doing driving directions or walking directions? Right. And then we're trying to figure this out.
She was checking it out. She was looking at it on.
I'm like, I looked at it last night.
Right.
It was between these 2 parks.
Right.
On Broadway.
Yes.
And it was 0.8 miles.
Right. And you looked at it on your computer.
I looked at it on my phone. I looked at it on my laptop.
The address in.
I don't know. Google Maps betrayed us.
I went back, and I arrived at the location 45 minutes later, walking there. So I walked for an hour and a half at this point. Mm-hmm. I'm there. I show it to them. I say, do you see this? This is your address. And it says that you're 41 minutes away.
Yeah.
And and here's what they said. Yeah, that happened to somebody else too.
Okay, maybe you want to fix that about your business.
You may want to fix this. This is a problem.
Yeah, and you can fix that. Well, we were stupid. It's okay. It's okay to be stupid.
Listen.
Don't stay stupid. What does the fox say? I do think that's important. Make mistakes and not blame other people for it, and just take personal responsibility.
Well, we blame Google Maps.
It's kind of like when you say direction is not correction. I hear you say that a lot in like working on projects and actors and stuff. How
being directed to do something differently does not mean that what you did before was wrong.
Exactly. And I don't think what we did was wrong.
No, it was not.
It's got a lot of ways it could be done better.
Yes.
And it's not correction. I mean, I take it as, let's figure out a way to avoid this in the future.
It's like the classic thing with Edison. I did not fail making the light bulb, 800 times or whatever. Mm-hmm. I found 800 ways not to make the light bulb.
I have been a person who is very corrective in my life.
Okay.
Sometimes, especially with you, like asking you, oh, why are you doing it that way? Mm-hmm. Like, I'll be very corrective.
Sure.
And I realized that, that's ego. Mm-hmm. That's me always thinking I have the answer of the right way that something should be done.
I came to a revelation that I would never beat myself up for not being good at something that I have never done or that I have done very little.
Right. That you just aren't the master of the thing.
Right. That, so I messed up something I've never tried before. I always have a slight amount of anxiety about the eggs. I have an amount of anxiety cracking the eggs so that they don't break.
Right.
The yolk doesn't break.
Actually, eggs are a really good analogy here because they're always an unpredictable quotient.
It's true.
They're completely unpredictable.
If you have a harder shell, and you have to hit it multiple times. Or a thicker
membrane.
Yes.
Oh my God. The membrane's thick, you're screwed. The puncture of the yolk. I mean, like they are like a living thing.
They are an unknown factor.
They are very unknown factors every time you do it.
Yes.
And that's why they are so difficult. And like chefs and like Gordon Ramsay and all these chefs have like specific ways they do their eggs because it's hard to do a perfect egg.
Yes.
They're always chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's a great like analogy for life. Every experience can be just chaos.
And the only way to do it is to find a way that works for you and to put focus on it.
Right.
That's the only concentration and focus on how the egg is broken, how the egg is dropped in, how long that it's cooking for, all of that.
Right.
And if you do that, you're going to have a good egg.
Well,
or you may not.
And and you may not. And the way that you do it is not the way that I do it.
Right.
And not anyone knows any better than anyone else how to accomplish it.
And there's not a right way and a wrong way.
It's not my job to teach or instruct anything in life. Right? If you do, like if I do know a thing and I do have a thing that I could share, you don't go around saying like, you want to know how to do that? People will say, wow, how'd you do that?
Yes. I was last night.
And then you can share.
Last night at the networking event, I walked up to this young filmmaker. It was his first networking event. There's no way to do this right, so it's impossible to do it wrong. How do you walk over to people? Well, I look for the weak antelope. And he went, oh, you mean like me? I'm like, yes, exactly. I think that if you have knowledge, don't be afraid to share it.
I've seen myself overwhelm people. You see it immediately.
I have no idea what you're talking about because I never overwhelm anybody.
Really?
Except with my outfit.
Oh, no. There reaches a point in a conversation where they have no ability to absorb more information. And I just have to like, shut up.
Here's the thing about being an editor, okay? Somebody else has gone in there and fucked it up already.
Yeah.
They've the sound is bad, the picture is bad,
it's out of focus,
the acting is bad, it's out of focus, it's jittery, everything. And then it's handed to you and they say, okay, you are now responsible for everything that has happened up to this point.
Yeah.
And you need to make it great.
Right. No.
Even though it was already screwed up.
I feel like it must be what like mechanics feel like. Or maybe plumbers.
Right.
Where like you just have to come to somebody's house.
Right.
And look at like their
you
entire
plunge
bathroom
their shit. Yes.
flooded with feces.
Right.
And fix it.
Right.
Okay, these are the materials I have. I have like a hammer. I have some vanilla extract. I have,
What can you do?
Yeah, I have a cardboard box and they want a cake.
Yeah. It's, imagine you've been given all the batter and you taste the batter.
And it sucks.
There's too much salt in it.
Oh,
there's
God.
Too
the
much,
worst, The worst cake I ever made was when I screwed up the quotients of the ingredients.
Right.
And thought the batter tasted not great, but I thought I had made it right. And I cooked it and it was literally like a brick.
Right.
And I still don't know what I did, but I iced it just like it was a beautiful cake. And my grandfather ate a slice.
Oh.
Poor thing.
Oh.
It was a sincere act of love.
That is so nice.
And he said it was wonderful.
And
And I know it was probably causing some constipation later. Distress.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We know a thing so well that it's obvious to us. It's part of us.
Right.
So when someone says they don't understand, one thing that happens is it shakes your own confidence. And another thing that happens is you immediately know the thing so well that you think they must be idiots to not know it that well.
So this is a really weird pop reference. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So there was a Happy Days episode that I will never forget. And I learned so much from this Happy Days episode. Okay. So this is like late Happy Days. Fonzie has become a teacher.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He has become an auto teacher.
Oh, okay. Auto mechanics.
Auto mechanics, because Fonzie was always, amazing at that.
Yes.
And Fonzie on the first day goes in and he's like, and he looks at the syllabus and he's like, what? I could tell you how to rebuild a whole car in a week. What are they talking about that it's going to take, this amount of time? And he rebuilds and he shows everybody in the class how to rebuild this carburetor. And when he comes back the next day, people are just like, actually, most of the class isn't even there because they didn't get any of it.
Right.
He knew how to just, he's like the brain surgeon of carburetors.
Yes.
And they were just like, gone.
Yeah.
Okay. And Fonzie learned that he had to take it slow. And he had to put his hands on their hands and show them how to build a carburetor. And
they had to do it.
He learned how to be a teacher.
Right. They have to do it and learn in their way how to do it.
Right.
With slow instruction.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. And that is and that's something that everybody has to keep in mind.
Typically the questions I get asked are really irrelevant to doing the job. And I think it's important to try to understand the person and their logic, more than whether they can or can't do a job is more important that, like, how would you handle this? Like, okay, well, you do this,
right?
You stick this in here and then there's a problem.
Right.
How would you proceed? I was dealing with this with a DIT recently, and we were supposed to be exchanging footage, but they're in the South and I'm in the North.
Right.
So I'm going through the process of like, well, let's walk through your logic on how you will do this.
Right.
And they come to the conclusion, well, this is the easiest thing to do.
Right.
Great. That's what I already knew, but it's not my job to tell you that.
Right.
It's your job. Mid-season break.
We're going to be off for probably 6 or 8 weeks or something like that. We will still be doing some content, but that means that this is our last Origian for this season.
I wonder if it's going to be a cliffhanger.
Interior visitors area at Origian headquarters day. The rides wait patiently. The wall is filled with news stories about the launch. Emmeline walks in and her parents and sister Bettina walk over to the wall of glass that separates them. There are ear receivers on a table that they can use to hear family members perfectly. Emmeline already has hers in. Emmeline stands in front of the glass and puts her hands on it. The rest of the family do the same. This is their hug.
Grace, you look like a woman.
Emmeline, I am one.
Bettina, I got into college.
Grace and Jeff look at each other. Grace, she doesn't want to hear about that.
Emmeline, yes, I do.
Bettina, well, thanks to my little sis, I can pretty much choose anywhere I wanted to go, so I'm going to go to the College of Design in La Paz, Bolivia.
Emmeline, oh, wow.
We're building a house there, too. It's gorgeous and above sea level, which is a big plus.
You're all moving there?
They look at each other.
Grace, yes, but let's talk about you.
Jeff, Emmy, this is crazy.
Grace, Jeff, please don't.
No, she needs to know. Emmeline, we want you to know that you can come home. Dammy and Solange and his money. We'll figure it out. You can come home if you want. We want you to.
Bettina, it's okay, Emmy. Just because you said you wanted to do something when you were 11, that doesn't mean that you have to do it. You can change your mind. We'll break you out of here if we have to, you and Robbie.
Grace, Emmy, I love you so much. I just want you to be happy. We miss you so much.
Emmeline, I had surgery last year.
Grace, what? Why? Are you hurt?
Emmeline, no, I'm fine. We all had it.
Jeff, what are you talking about, Emmeline? You're scaring us.
Emmeline, it wasn't scary. It was very smart. Everyone had their tonsils, appendix, and gallbladder removed so that there wouldn't be any complications during the trip. There are 11 girls and 9 boys. They told us that we could elect to receive a complete hysterectomy or prostate removal if we choose to because of the risk of cancer, which for us is statistically very high.
Grace. Oh, Jesus.
Emmeline, most of them did.
How are you, baby?
Emmeline, I'm fine. I didn't have that surgery. They did the other stuff, but I wanted to keep my reproductive organs.
Grace, why?
Emmeline, I shouldn't have?
Bettina, no, Emmy, it's just a lot for us to take in.
Emmeline, I'm coming back. I will meet up with the aliens, or what I predict, which is robots, and they will bring me home. Then I can be a mom someday if I want.
Jeff, Emmy, I love you, but you know that probably can't happen.
Emmeline, things that can't happen don't happen until they can. These signals from light years away are coming to us for some purpose.
Jeff, I'm sure that's what you've been told, but it's all a theory.
Emmeline, I'm going to meet them, or one of the others will. I believe in this. It's not possible to do nothing.
Grace, Emmy, you are not coming back ever. I need you to understand that. I can let you go, but not if you don't understand.
Emmeline, I understand that this is what I'm supposed to do. If I don't come back, I will still be glad I did it.
Bettina, I love you. You are the best big sister.
But I'm not.
No, Emmy, you've taught me everything and been there and protected me and made my life possible. You're my big sister to me. Jeff, Emmy, I'm so proud of you. You have more faith in this world than I possibly ever could.
Jeff pulls out his device and sends her a message. Her device dings.
For the last 6 years, we've been videoing events you missed in our lives and messages for you to watch on your journey. There must be over 500 hours, so hopefully you won't get too bored with us.
Emmeline, that was very smart.
Jeff, it was your mom's idea. I love you so much. And know that I will tell everyone for the rest of my life about what my daughter is doing for them. And if they don't appreciate it, they will be really sorry.
Grace, I'm sorry, Emmeline. I can't. I won't let you go. You're my girl. I can't say goodbye to you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray to you every night. I'm going to believe you can hear me, and maybe if you do the same, I'll hear you, but that doesn't matter. You'll be closer to any God that might have ever existed. I'm just aiming my voice to the heavens for you. Will you listen for me once in a while?
Emmeline, I will listen.
Okay. This is so hard. The most powerful thing life ever thought of is love, and know that we have a whole universe of it for you.
Bettina, so that makes you the most powerful thing in the universe, Emmeline.
Emmeline, cool.
They laugh. Jeff, okay, baby. I am buying a telescope tomorrow, a really expensive one. Wave at us?
Emmeline, I will.
They all touch the glass for what seems forever and reluctantly let their hands down and go their separate ways.
Okay. I actually worked up tears for that.
What a bummer to end.
No, look
that
at me.
way.
I worked up tears for that dialogue.
Bringing it for the origin. All right.
You know, I actually kind of enjoy the acting. I mean, I'll call it acting. I'm not an actor.
I think I think you do great. I think you're better than me, honestly. And I call myself an actor sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever.
I've had no distractions, so I've been editing a shit ton, and now my hand is like really stiff and sore.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe.
One day we will have editing where we can just go bing, 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 bing.
Please, Minority Report, please come.
It's taking a really long time.
Yes, that's true.
Like, why can't we already have this? And like, I've seen the keyboards, they're like infrared little keyboards that shoot, like the little light shoots out,
right,
and you just tap on the table. That's stupid. Why are we recreating a keyboard when you could just tap on this keyboard? Why are we creating a light keyboard?
Yeah.
That's dumb. Why isn't it shooting up in the air? So we're doing this.
Where there will be no pressure on your hands.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, this is true.
So, and
I like
your
this
wrist.
part. This part of Minority Report.
Isn't carpal tunnel syndrome kind of an indicator that this could be done better? Like, this is not a good position that's natural to your hands.
It's not ergonomic.
No, like this was how hands go. Hands go like this.
Right.
Why did we not create keyboards that would do like this?
That's right. It's where we could go like this, like nipples.
No.
I want a nipple keyboard. Somebody
Stop
invent
hitting
me
your
one.
microphone.
It's like
when you came home, you were like, "Well, did you watch all of the shows without me?" And I was like, "No, because we're into Sugar."
Sugar, yes.
Which has Colin Farrell.
Right.
And it's like he thinks he's like an old detective novel kind of detective.
Yeah, he
almost has like these imaginings.
He almost seems like he has like a form of autism. I mean, just to the fact that he feels
we call it
he's
on the spectrum.
He is
now.
a bit on the spectrum.
We don't say autism.
Yeah, that's right. He is a bit on the spectrum.
He's spectral.
He is
Possibly,
spectral.
but
maybe there's a past there that they are not revealing. Here's the thing about this show. I love the look of it.
I love Colin Farrell.
And give me all of Colin Farrell. I don't care about anything else on the show. I don't care about the mystery. I don't care about the side characters.
Why?
I don't care about anything except the dog.
Oh, I love the way he was with the homeless man, and then he got the homeless dog.
That was amazing.
That was an amazing, beautiful piece of the story. And I kind of wish he wasn't solving mysteries because for some reason,
wish he was like Hobo Jesus. He was just like this guy
cool
who
guy going
connects
around
with people, you know.
Yeah, you can watch Hobo Jesus on Amazon Prime, people.
That's it.
That's our film, if you didn't know. But for some reason, when I think about the mystery part of Sugar,
yeah,
it reminds me of the mystery part from Legally Blonde.
Wow.
Why is that?
I'm sure the writers will appreciate that.
It's like phenobarbital or whatever she says.
Right, yeah.
You said you got in the shower after you got a perm?
Look,
what?
The storyline that they have created.
It's not great.
It feels super derivative.
But it's so enjoyable to watch.
It is. It feels like, somebody wanted to do Chinatown, but they wanted to do it in modern day.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I can dig that.
The way that he is and his idiosyncrasies and the way that he has.
He loves movies.
Yeah.
He loves movies. He's obsessed with movies.
I just really like the vibe and I like him.
Yeah. And he.
Oh my God. Did you know something about Colin Farrell?
What?
He dated Liz Taylor.
Oh, like Elizabeth Taylor?
Yes.
What?
He wanted to be husband number 8.
So modernly, he dated Elizabeth Taylor.
Before she died, he wanted to be her husband.
Wow.
He was in love.
That's really, man, Liz Taylor must have.
She was like 40 years older than him.
She must have something
going on. She
going
was like 70 and he was 30.
She's got something going on. She must be like vibrating at some sort of frequency.
Yeah, you talk about vibration. I mean, God, come on. Just her eyebrows vibrated. Michael Jackson worshipped Liz Taylor and Diana Ross.
Right, he did.
So when someone vibrating that high is worshiping someone else,
you're
like, holy shit, how big was their vibration?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, how big was their vibe?
Totally.
That they impressed people. And it's really weird. I don't know why we got so metaphysical with this particular episode, but I am curious about that now because there are people who they have a vibe that is like this with your frequency. It's like your
there's
frequencies
actually
are like that.
an Instagram channel that I occasionally will follow where she talks about basically creating fame for yourself. And it has to do with your vibration. It has to do with what you're sort of allowing, in and what you're putting out.
I was thinking, I don't know, we were driving home yesterday and I was thinking about like being yourself and like how so many times in every situation you're not really being yourself. Like you're being a version of yourself that you think is acceptable in that situation.
Right.
And like to truly be able to be yourself in every moment is like something that you have to concentrate on at times.
Well, it's what I tell people in my acting class is that you contain multitudes. You already have all the characters within you that you're ever going to play. You just have to know how to tap into those characters.
I think today is the kind of day that I could really talk you into transcendental meditation.
You already did.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. Jon and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.